All right, what's up, guys? Spark 6 Shifty here, just starting this off. Um, first thing I want to get out of the way here is sorry for the short, very short notice. Literally a 2-hour window. Um, Normally don't do that. We usually give it 24 hours, but my schedule is hectic, and as with a live chat, this is going to be posted on the page for future viewing. So if anyone does want to join in right now, that'd be good. And I'll answer your questions and etc. There is a poll attached to this video. Is a Stoner LMG A or nay? A as in cool, and nay as in get a better gun. That was a waste of $350. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I am in my truck. I'm in the back of my truck right now. It's a little tight, and I don't think we're going to have any lag issues. My mobile data is running pretty good out here right now, so which is another variable in my schedule. I can't really give a good heads up with these live videos, and I do apologize because I would. It sucks because I really would like to have a good good number of viewers for every live chat. I think last time we had about 24 people. So it's cool. Okay, so I'm yammering on about that crap. Let's move on to the review for the Stoner LMG from Classic Army. Like I said before, I bought this for about, I think it was $350, $360. I bought this at Fold a Gap 2015 by Stampede Airsoft. Really great people. They had their professional team out there playing, and I noticed actually a couple of guys in Stampede were using this, so which brought to my eyes to, hey, maybe I should purchase this for myself. So I did use this at Fold a Gap, and it worked out pretty good. User error. There's a lot of user error. This was a new experience for me. I'd never done any LMGs at all. Nothing. I've always done M4 platforms and the ARX and a little bit of AK, and that's about it. So LMG was a new experience for me, and I really didn't just get into it recently, and saw how everything worked externally, not internally. I'm not going to mess with the gearbox. I don't know anything about the gearbox besides a few facts. Sorry about that. Okay. We'll work from the inside out. The internals for this gearbox is a custom gearbox, and it takes version 2 parts. Version 2 gears, version 2 tappet plate, and et cetera, et cetera. I think custom nozzle and stuff like that. I had no idea about the spring in here. I imagine it is a 115 or 120 spring. You have to look that up. I didn't really do much. I didn't really do much effort into looking into that. But anyways, so there's a lot of user error. As you can see, it's a pretty tight compact LMG. Pretty short barrel. The barrel here does come off actually very easily, and very accidentally. All you have to do is, and that's it. You can imagine hitting that and then the barrel coming out and getting your barrel all nasty and all that jazz. Now I'm probably not going to be able to put that up without some effort. And and this is where I found a big problem with this rifle. It did come out in the middle of play. I got bumped it on my plate carrier, and the barrel just popped out. Now let's see if I can get it back in here. I'm not going to mess with it for very long. Not going to put a lot of effort into it. If I could show you this, I will. The camera angle is a little weird, but I don't think that's going to happen today. We're just going to leave it at that right now. What goes on, and it's a very, very tight fit for this barrel. You would imagine something that would release so quickly to be put back in with almost the same amount of effort. No, on the field when we tried to put the barrel back in, when I say we, it took like 3 guys looking at this thing like, oh, I don't know, just shove it in there, it'll work. And that did not work. There's a very little groove. There's a very small little groove that it fits in here. I can't really show it to you right now. Yeah, a few minutes here. There we go. This is the hop-up assembly. And you can see that little groove right here has to slide in that basically the almost exact same dimensions back in the outer barrel into where the hop-up nuzzles down. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be able to see it. There's not enough light back where the camera is. I'm sorry. But there's a little notch right under the nozzle where it slides in. It's basically the same dimension. It's a very, very tight fit, which is a great thing. But when the barrel comes off that easily, you just like push of a button. Not really liking that. And what I do think I can do with that issue, get this back in here. With that issue is there is a spring right here for that lever, and I could probably remove that spring. I don't see any reason why to release the barrel in play, because it's not a long barrel, it's not a DMR. I don't ever put my gun in the dirt or anything like that. I've never really, unless I slip and fall. Besides that, the only other issues, and I'm really describing my issues out first because that's just who I am, I guess. The only other issues I had with this is again user error, completely user error with the box mag. And the box mags, I have no idea about box mags until I looked at it for about 30 minutes and figured out the whole system. And really, I'm not really liking this box mag for 2 reasons. It's incredibly there's a lot of time to reload this thing. You would think you just pour the BBs in here and you would cycle it through. Now, I didn't know that at Full to Gap, and I ran into that problem, and I would only feed about 400 rounds, and then it would dry up. And I wouldn't be able to, I would have to fill it up every 400 rounds, which almost would, an airsoft is basically a high cap. So I was basically using a high cap and taking a long time to reload instead of just a quick change mag. When you fill this up, what you're supposed to do with this box mag, and at the very bottom of this, first you have to unzip this cover. That's step one. Well, step one. Now you want to have that. Well, step one, unzip the cover. Step two, pull the tab down all the way. The floor inside the box mag will lower when you pull the top down. Then you would fill it up. Close the very iffy lid. This is the lid for this. You're gonna need tape. I've used it once, and I'm gonna close the lid here. Oh Lord, I can't even close it. Oh, there we go. Nope, nope. Okay, that's closed. Very ridiculous. So I'm really not a fan of this box bag at all. Anyways, you would close that, and I would assume you need to make sure it's closed, because when you push this tab back in at the bottom, and really what you would need to do to push this tab is you either have really long nails or a screwdriver, right? Like, there we go. Barely enough nail length right there. It would push the floor all the way up, applying spring pressure to the BBs so the feeding system could have a constant flow of BBs. And obviously, it would start once you run out of ammo, or once you start running out, it'll gradually increase until you completely run out. And I think this is a 1,000 round, 900 or 1,000 round box fan. I'm not really sure. And then after you do that, you would have to zip it back up. This is if you take it off the gun itself, obviously. You'd have to feed it back in. I can't imagine doing all of this going, oh man, I gotta zip it and then pull it out, fill it up. That would be a nuisance. I'm really not liking this box bag at all. And then you would plug it back in to the feeding tray right here. And there you go. So you're looking at a good 30 seconds, maybe 20 seconds if you're not having any issues. And my suggestion is have multiple box mags. I don't know if if saw mags or anything else would fit for this rifle, but the Stoner LMG box mags, not a fan at all. Yeah, it's that much of a nightmare. I'm getting a headache. I'm literally getting a headache over it. It's a little ridiculous. All right. The gun itself weighs about 8.5, 9 pounds. It's a little heavy for a short barrel LMG, but I like the compactness. The compactness is pretty much is the selling point for this LMG. Statistically, this rifle, when I quoted it at Full to Gap, it shot with 2 5s. It shot 376, 378, and that was with a 11.1 lipo, which does lower FPS. I don't care what anyone says. Lipos do lower FPS because of the compression rate for the spring back. It just goes too fast. It doesn't cycle enough air into the cylinder, and it's pushing less air. So you're getting less push, therefore lower FPS. I don't care what anyone says. That's what my experience has shown me. Or multiple rifles, multiple gearboxes, they all do the same thing for me. Anyways, that's what I ran it as, 11.1 lipo. It shot let's just say 375 to 380 FPS 0.25s, which is good, and that's what I needed at full gap, and that's basically CQB legal. At that, with the 11.1 LiPo, shot about 16 to 18 rounds a second. It's not fast at all. I would believe it'd have a 120 spring, maybe a 115. So, other things about this rifle that I do like, or let's start with the liking process, I guess. I've been saying negatives, and that's about it, except the statistics. The statistics are standard, and it's solid. If you can get the barrel in right, if you get the barrel in right, it's a solid weapon. The stock comes off pretty easily. It's one screw, and then there's a spring-loaded tab right on the side here. You take that off. I take it off for storage. It fits right in this box right here, which is a Beretta box for the ARX. Again, the weight is a little heavy. It's not too bad though. It's pretty stable. Haven't had any issues. Another thing I didn't like, obviously, the iron sights. It is a very tiny. It's completely adjustable. The front iron sights are completely adjustable. When the end of the barrel is static, you cannot change it at all. So I do recommend a sight with this. Maybe not a red dot, but maybe a more protective sight for this guy. Besides that, it feeds very well. It's got a full IRS system up top here, except to the feeding tray, which the feeding tray is very, very small. And honestly, the actual Stoner LMG is a lot larger. It's probably about an inch longer. It's a little bit shorter. It's supposed to fit 5.56, and this would not fit a 5.56 at all. Besides that, besides me wanting to do a paint job on it, I don't see really much all to talk about this, except I will be using this at full gap. I was trying to make this just a quick review, because really we don't do any reviews. We really rarely have done reviews. Actually, I haven't even done a review for the ARX 160. So this is just basically my feedback and my experience. I'm about 70% happy with this rifle. It's just user error. I do not like the box backs. That can change. Besides that, the all-metal platform is great, and it's a very stable rifle. Besides the barrel release, which is really freaking annoying. But like again, I could change that. Every gun has its small flaws, yada yada yada. What I do recommend, if you are going to purchase this rifle, get multiple box mags, tape in the little flap here, the feeding flap. The feeding flap. That sounds really nasty, as it will not stay shut, and the spring will release it very easily, like that. Get multiple of these, and I would just recommend getting duct tape and taping this off, or I don't know. I don't know any other way that you can close this without having the function of opening it again. And taking the spring out for the quick change for the barrel. That's all I would recommend for this rifle. Besides that, it's a pretty solid gun. Had a lot of fun with it. Got a lot of kills, even with the feeding issues, because we did not put the barrel in properly, and it was skipping about every 5-6 shots. It'd skip a few times, and it was just horrible feeding. The barrel inside was wobbling around. I appreciate you guys stopping by for a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. If you can, please subscribe. Besides that, and stay tuned for next time, and hopefully do another live show or just a standard review. And that's about it. Appreciate it, guys.